Hello, and welcome to the first edition of the Warner Home Video Film Preview. My name's Simon Bates, and in this program I'll be telling you about what's new on video from Warner's. You know, right from the start of the movies, Warner's have been pioneering ways to make them more spectacular and more enjoyable. For instance, Warner's were the first to bring sound to the movies, and when Al Jolson said those immortal words, "You ain't seen nothing yet," in The Jazz Singer, he wasn't joking. For the next few decades saw Warner's create a tradition of great entertainment. Remember those searing dramas with James Cagney, Edward G. Robinson, and of course Humphrey Bogart. After all, who can forget Casablanca? And what about Errol Flynn and Bette Davis? Or Joan Crawford? Warner's always has been the home of the immortal stars. And nothing much really has changed. It's still the place to go for top entertainment. So in this program, we'll be keeping you up to date with all the great new titles that are coming out on video and just waiting for you to press the play button. We'll be talking to the people who create the on-screen magic. In this edition, for example, I'll be talking to Stephen Frears, director of the smash hit Dangerously Liaisons. There'll also be a competition, your chance to win a fabulous family holiday in sunny California. And we have all the favorite movies that we love to watch over and over. So we'll be telling you about the titles you can buy and add to your library of enjoyment. Okay, let's talk about the movies. In Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman turns in one of the best performances of his career, and for which he won this year's Oscar for Best Actor, of course. In the movie, he plays Raymond, an autistic savant. He can't relate to the world except through routine and numbers. He has an incredible calculator-like mind, and when he gets left a fortune by his father, well, he's kidnapped by his greedy younger brother, brilliantly played by Tom Cruise in his best role to date. Together, they cross America. Cruise puts Raymond's talents to good use in Las Vegas, and at the same time discovers emotions he never knew he had. It's a sensitive and very human film that never gets sentimental, and for me, Rain Man richly deserved this year's top 4 Oscars.
Rain Man?
Yeah.
Let's play some cards.
Yeah. You want to hit?
No, you don't want to hit where you've got 18.
Want to hit?
So you have 18.
You don't want to hit. He doesn't want to hit. Hit me.
Definitely want to hit.
Hitting 18.
He doesn't want to hit.
Hit me, hit me,
Don't,
hit.
don't! You took my queen, Ray. I've got a 10. I needed that queen. I can't take your queen.
Sir, please don't touch the cards.
I need my own queen, Ray.
There's lots of them.
There's lots of them?
Lots and lots of them.
Hold on here for a second. I'm gonna double down.
Queen. Queen.
Yes, sir. You gotta love this town.
Now, Tequila Sunrise is a tense psychological thriller which explores the age-old subjects of friendship and love. Set against a backdrop of international drug smuggling, Mel Gibson plays a one-time successful dealer who's made a fortune from the illicit trade. Now, though, he wants to quit, but the mob needs his talents, and there's an added complication in the form of Kurt Russell, who's Gibson's old college pal, now a successful cop with orders to put him behind bars. That's complicated enough, but there's more, much more, in the desirable form of Michelle Pfeiffer as a woman caught up in the action and finding herself attracted to both cop and reluctant drug dealer. The movie is very tense. Violence simmers beneath its stunningly shot surface.
Andy, how you doing, baby?
Great.
Hello to Nick. Nick's my partner. Hold it. Who the fuck is that?
He's a friend.
He's not my friend. I got all the friends I need.
He's my ride. He drove me, that's all.
Then let him wait in the car. I don't like meeting strangers.
Look, I assure you, he's just a friend of mine. He
Hey,
can...
that's cool. Just let me take a quick leak and I'll be out of here.
Deal still good?
How do you want to weigh it and test it?
We'll work it out, Andy.
Maybe it's none of my business, but I don't think you should be looking for any new faces in your life either.
Fine with me. I'll wait outside. Hey. I thought you retired.
I am retired.
What are you doing here?
A favor.
Remember Arthur Bach? That lovable millionaire with a heart of gold and a liver full of booze, played by Dudley Moore, well, he's back. Arthur 2, On the Rocks, is a heartwarming romp from riches to rags and back again. Last time round, Arthur jilted a rich debutante for the love of a humble waitress, played by Liza Minnelli. That was the best thing he ever did. At least he thinks so, and believe me, I agree. But the girl's father won't forgive and forget. He impoverishes Arthur and makes life as hard as he can for them. Arthur does his best to be poor and doesn't do too well, but he discovers something he never knew he had: integrity. For me, the charm of the film lies in Dudley Moore's wonderfully manic performance. Liza Minnelli is steady and loving, and Sir John Gielgud makes a fleeting and flippant appearance as Arthur's ghostly butler.
God, I've missed you, Hobson.
I've never been far.
Yeah, I felt that.
I've had my eye on you, Arthur. You can't imagine how proud I've been watching you rooting through garbage cans, searching out discarded McNugget boxes.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
Yes. If projectile vomiting ever becomes an Olympic event, you'll do your country proud.
Oh, I'm trying, you know. Yesterday I sold some blood at the hospital.
Hospital? I should have thought a local distillery would have paid you much more.
I wouldn't have gotten along without you, Hobson.
Obviously not very well.
I wouldn't say that, Hobson. I love the circus. Remember you used to bring me here every year, Hobson? I used to try and run up to all the clowns and squeeze their noses.
Yes, after the age of 30, it becomes a bit embarrassing.
Really? Did I embarrass you, Hobson?
Only every waking moment.
Another story of rags to riches is Stealing Home, except this time the riches are emotional. Mark Harmon, who you might remember from The Presidio, has given up baseball, for which he has a great talent. He's aimless and lost. And then he gets the news of the death of Katie Chandler, who was once his crazy babysitter and later became the older woman who taught him how to love. The film flashes backwards and forwards across time. We see how Harmon's character matures, discovers his sporting talent, learns to care for others, and deals with the rough and tumble of living. Jodie Foster is great as Katie, as she is in just about anything she does. Her Oscar this year for The Accused was well deserved. And in this film, she shows just how versatile she is.
Where are we going?
To the shore!
But that's so far.
What are you, 80? It's a piece of cake. Get in the car.
No, we'll get in trouble.
No, we won't.
They always say we won't get in trouble, and we always get in trouble.
Your mother said that I was in charge of you. You have to do what I say, right?
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Wait a minute. Do you have your license? No. Have you ever driven a car? Yeah, once. Where?
In my parents' driveway.
Oh, God.
Relax. So.
Come on, baby. You're driving me crazy. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Hey, mister, you know what? We're going to talk about girls. Because in a couple of years, that's all you're going to be able to think about, believe me.
There have been many stories of sexual intrigue, but none as sensual as Dangerous Liaisons. The plot is as complicated as love itself, but I will have a go at a summary. Glenn Close, in her first role since Fatal Attraction, is an aristocrat with an unequalled record of sexual conquest who's been jilted by her latest lover for marriage to a young virgin. She challenges John Malkovich, a roguish vicomte, to get the virgin into bed and so make her future husband look a fool. No problem, says Malkovich, who then sets himself another far more difficult task, to seduce a beautiful but very virtuous married woman, again, temptingly played by the gorgeous Michelle Pfeiffer. The plot thickens further, and, well, it's a delight. Visually, it's stunning, with sumptuous Oscar-winning costumes and interiors. And here's an example of just what I mean.
I rely on your integrity and generosity. I want to be able to be grateful to you.
Forgive me if I say I don't want your gratitude. What I want from you is something altogether deeper.
I know God is punishing me for my pride. I was so certain nothing like this could ever happen.
Nothing like what? Do you mean love?
I can't.
Is love what you mean?
You promised not
yes,
to
of
speak
course,
of it.
I understand, but I must know.
I can't. Don't you understand? It's impossible.
You don't have to speak. You don't have to speak. Just look at me.
The script for Dangerously Liaisons, written by Christopher Hampton, won an Oscar this year. The original plot comes from a French 18th century novel, also called, and I will attempt the French, Les Liaisons Dangereuses. How was that? Anyway, the movie was directed by our own Stephen Frears, who's become a very hot name in the film business. He's responsible for such successes as The Hit, My Beautiful Laundrette, and of course, Prick Up Your Ears. And he's certainly a man worth talking to. So earlier on, I did. Stephen, first question must be, how did you get involved in Dangerous Liaisons?
I'd never done a sort of historical film, but the truth is I found all that historical side of it. I mean, I understood the history, but I don't find those kind of films terribly interesting. And I remember saying that if this was a film in which the costumes earned a lot of praise and the design was praised, that we'd somehow failed. What's behind it all is this wonderful story. So in a sense, I was hard to be rather disrespectful about the past and to sort of not concentrate on that. I mean, if they'd wanted a film with elaborate design, they'd have got someone else.
And yet, with the director of photography, you've made a film that's very beautiful to look at.
Well, you can't help it, because in fact it was a very, very beautiful period, and they wear these extraordinary clothes and wear wigs and makeup, and everything is very, very designed in the film, but underneath it all is a story of passion and death and love. And
it's also very sexy, isn't it? It's a sexy romp.
That's what's great. No.
Isn't it?
Well, I mean, in that case, we should have made it a bit more sexy. No, but it's just about sex, which is sort of more interesting. It's not about people sort of jumping into haystacks, but it's just about people's obsession with sex and the role that sex plays in people's lives.
Thank you, monsieur, for everything. I was afraid I'd been a sad disappointment to you.
On the contrary. It's you I have to thank for keeping our love alive.
Well, as to love, Cecile thinks of little else. She and her mother are coming back to Paris in 2 weeks, and she is longing to see you.
I've had the most wonderful letter from her.
Really?
Not like any of her other letters. Somehow, quite a different tone of voice.
My dearest Dangerously, I swear to you
on my chastity that even if my mother forces me to go through with this marriage, I shall be yours completely. Your friend, the Vicomte du Valmont, has been very active on your behalf. I doubt if you could do more yourself.
It's an interesting position, isn't it? An Englishman directing a French story starring Americans.
Yes, I see what you mean. We made it in France with a largely French crew, a few English people. It was the most complicated mix of people, except that everyone was very, very nice. And it would be nice to know what lessons you could learn, because you should always be able to recreate such happy experiences, but I don't know what they are.
Did you work closely with Christopher Hampton on the script?
Yes, we then produced a couple of drafts. He'd done the first draft, and then we did a couple more, and, did all the things you normally do to make a film. But it always seemed to me that audiences would like it very much, that it was a very, very good story. Rather an old-fashioned film. I mean, like films used to be when I was growing up.
What do you think it is that makes audiences, in a physical sense, enjoy the film so much? Is it the look of it, or the story?
No, I mean, yes, it looks very nice, and there are these extraordinary clothes. I just think they become very involved, and whenever I've seen it with audiences, they've always done that wonderful thing of, when they go to the lavatory, of not wanting to leave the room and looking back over their shoulders and then running. Yes. And you can always tell that that's just because they want to know what happens next.
If I want a man, I have him. If he wants to tell, he finds that he can't. That's the whole story.
And was that our story?
I wanted you before we'd ever met. My self-esteem demanded it. Then when you began to pursue me, I wanted you so badly.
Now here you are working on a film, which is a major film, with three well-known American actors, John Malkovich, Glenn Close, and of course Michelle Pfeiffer. All of them very experienced in American cinema. Must have been quite a difference from the days when you were doing Beautiful Laundrette.
Oh, not really. I mean, they were very, very good at their jobs, and What actors really want is good work and good parts, and they all knew they'd got good parts and they were very happy doing them.
Even though it's a period drama, I wonder when you were working with her if you noticed that Glenn Close felt perhaps that she was saddled with that fatal attraction image, you know, that very strong, very sexual woman.
She never... Glenn could smell a good part a mile off. She'd go anywhere for a good job.
The other
One
thing
was much more complicated. She just had a baby, so, you know, she had all those... I kept thinking, well, she'll be full of the milk of human kindness. I don't know how she could play somebody that wicked, but she didn't seem to have any problems.
Both Malkovich and Glenn Close have enormous stage experience in the States. Does that help?
Well, it did on this play because it had a theatrical background, so you needed actors who could, you know, act properly. In fact, John's rather an untrained actor and had a lot of difficulty, I think, with the theatrical parts of it. Michelle, of course, comes from a background of supermarkets and beauty contests, which seemed to be equally appropriate preparation for her part. She was wonderful.
And no problems with you as an English director telling them as Americans what to do?
Well, it's not quite as sort of schoolmaster as you make it sound. I mean, you just get on with the job, and once they think you're capable, they're fine. Once I thought they were capable, I was fine. So, I mean, it was really just people working. It generally is. It's very... I've not had these sort of volcanic experiences.
Maybe that's for next time.
Pray God not.
Thanks for talking to us. And thank you for Dangerous Liaisons. It's a great film. Stephen Frears, director of Dangerous Liaisons. Now then, Harry Callahan is a modern-day hero of the wild frontier between law and chaos. The Dead Pool is the fifth Dirty Harry film starring Clint Eastwood. And this time the media have decided to make Harry a star because he's put a top mafia boss behind bars. They chase Harry with their cameras and microphones, and the mob pursue him with far deadlier hardware. But Harry, as usual, fends them off with his two most powerful weapons, the cutting wisecrack and, of course, his lethal .44 Magnum. To Harry, that's all pretty normal. But when he finds himself on a deadly list of celebrities who have the unfortunate habit of getting bumped off, things hot up.
So I figured I'd come over to Homicide. I thought it was time for something different. Oh, it's different, all right. Call for backup.
Don't fuck with me, lady! Okay, come on, you guys, hurry up!
You forgot your fortune cookie.
What?
It says you're shit out of luck.
In Three Men and a Baby, Tom Selleck revealed a great comic talent. In Her Alibi, he manages to combine laughter with tension in a romantic comedy thriller. Selleck plays Philip Blackwood, a successful author of pulp detective fiction. His publishers are demanding more, but he can't write. You see, he's dried up. So he spends his days sitting in courtrooms waiting for a story to come along. And then one does. In the stunning form of Nina, a mysterious Romanian beauty on a murder charge. Philip's instinct tells him that she's innocent and that this is a great plot for his next book. He fakes an alibi for her, telling the cops that he and Nina are lovers. And to make the alibi work, she moves in with him. And then things start going wrong. Is she a killer? Who's lurking in the bushes? Why are the KGB after her? Will he make the last chapter alive?
As the Japanese servants unobtrusively cleared away the remnants of Swift's gourmet meal, he and the girl exchanged sparkling repartee. His turn of phrase clearly had her entranced. Yet, perceptive as always, Swift knew that she needed him. That without him, she'd be as helpless as a lost child. Jesus.
I do not like bugs.
Well, neither do I, but I usually scream at them and hit them with a rolled-up copy of Sports Illustrated. How did you do that?
I don't know. It was just,
Instinct?
yeah, instinct.
The Accidental Tourist brings the talented trio responsible for Body Heat together again. William Hurt and Kathleen Turner, under the direction of Lawrence Kasdan, make it a powerful drama. Hurt is a writer whose books tell businessmen how to travel without discomfort. The way he travels is also the way he lives. He's dull, he avoids complications. His wife, Kathleen Turner, can't relate to him anymore. They've grown apart since the tragic murder of their only son. She leaves, and Hurt sinks into a quiet and slightly eccentric life in the company of his neurotic dog, Edward. It's because of Edward that he meets Gina Davis, an outspoken and unflappable dog trainer. Now, she decides that Hurt is the man for her and goes to work on him. Gradually, Hurt rediscovers long-hidden emotions. But then Kathleen Turner walks back into his life, and the eternal triangle is complete. The Accidental Tourist is a thoughtful drama. The stars produce finely tuned performances, especially Gina Davis, who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress.
What are you saying, Macon? Are you saying you're committed?
Well, that's not really the point.
Alexander's got 10 more years of school ahead of him. Are you saying you'll be around for all 10 years? I can't just put him in a private school and take him out again on every passing whim of yours. Just tell me this. Do you picture us getting married sometime? I mean, when your divorce comes through?
Muriel, marriage is... I don't know.
You don't, do you? You don't know what you want. One minute you like me and the next you don't. One minute you're ashamed to be seen with me and the next you think I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. You think you can just go along like this, no plans? Maybe tomorrow you'll be here, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just go on back to Sarah.
All I'm saying is...
All I'm saying is, take care of what you promised my son. Don't go making him any promises you don't intend to keep.
Gorillas in the Mist is a well-timed story of one woman's fight for nature. Sigourney Weaver plays Diane Fossey, a pioneering anthropologist who wanted to understand the mysteries of the noble species but was hindered and ultimately murdered by the forces of greed. It's a powerful performance. Fossey spent many years in the lush rainforests of Central Africa. She found that she could win the gorillas' trust and became part of their tightly knit group. But her efforts got in the way of the poachers who hunted the gorillas for Western zoos and grisly souvenirs. Her death shocked the world and forced local governments to protect the endangered species, which I'm glad to say is starting to flourish again. Diane Fossey's life is a testament of hope and courage, and Gorillas in the Mist does her justice. It's marvellously directed by Michael Apted and photographed beautifully by John Seale, who are both British, by the way. The movie touched my conscience, as well as my emotions.
Claude Van Vechten. Which one of you is Claude Van Vechten? Are you responsible for kidnapping this animal?
How dare you break into
If
my
I
private
ever
property?
see you or your meat wagon again, you'll be lucky if you don't end up in a wooden box.
Bill of sale, madam, from the Minister of the Interior. I'm going to have you arrested.
You try it. Just try it.
Claude, you piece of shit. Bastard.
Well, let's end our list of new films with something a little lighter. Crossing Delancey is a delightful comedy from New York. It's about Izzy, engagingly played by Amy Irving, a successful woman in her mid-30s who works in a trendy bookshop and is infatuated with a famous author. She lives free from her Jewish background, but her grandmother thinks she should be married. So the services of the local matchmaker are employed, and Izzy is paired with Sam, a man who owns a successful pickle store, no less. Izzy is horrified. She wants to mix with the city intellectuals, not the man who smells of brine and synagogues. But Sam isn't the man she thinks he is. He's an intelligent and thoughtful guy with a heart of gold. Can she resist the quiet charm of the pickle merchant? Crossing Delancey is a New York comedy, full of sparkling dialogue, and well, it leaves you with a warm feeling once the end credits roll.
What's the plan?
You forget either why I'm here.
I don't forget.
So maybe you'll let me do my job? You got some more hot water over there?
Hanka, give your mouth a rest. It'll thank you. Sam, what's the plan?
Well, I thought Saturday night, if you're free, I could take Isabel to dinner.
My cousin Mishka, the Romanian palace. He'll take good care of you.
Thank you, but
I don't think so.
What's this?
It's been lovely meeting you, Sam, and I appreciate your kind invitation, but I don't think I want to go. Thank you very much.
Well, she spoke.
You look, you meet, you try, you see. Sometimes it fits, sometimes it don't.
You know, those nice people at Warner's love movies. Movies that entertain, that satisfy all kinds of tastes. And of course, a good film is always a good film. So it's not just the new releases that are worth a look. There are movies that will always be classics. More and more people are starting to build up a library of their favorite films, from laughter to romance, from action to suspense. And because Warner's produced so many great films, and have been doing so for almost 70 years, there's a huge collection of titles you'll want to buy. Warner Home Video brings you the very best in comedy. From Comedy on the Box, Up the Front, Are You Being Served?, Ooh, You Are Awful, Steptoe and Son, and On the Buses.
Dirty old man.
Cut out for these.
Children's favorites: Battle Beyond the Stars, The Never-Ending Story, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, The Secret of Nim, The Black Stallion, and 1 Million Years BC.
Impossible! Reach the stars, fly a fantasy. A dream, and what you see will be rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds, and there upon the rainbow is the answer to a never-ending story.
Okay, now let's do it.
Hooray for our side!
It's the most beautiful sight I've ever seen.
I told you you'd love flying.
I don't know how I let you talk me into this.
Science fiction, Inner Space, Blade Runner, Outland, THX 1138, Altered States, The Final Countdown, and The Twilight Zone.
Deep thunder rolled around their shores. Questions. How long do I live? More than you. Yeah. My God.
Subject 1138, prefix THX.
Twist twice. Go home and polish your badge.
Rock and roll.
I'm in a man.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm possessed!
Great movies for you to collect and enjoy for as little as $9.99. And now for the competition. Right, I'm really going to test your movie knowledge to the limits. I'm going to show you 5 different clips. Over each of them, we'll play a different piece of music. Now, the music won't fit. What you have to do is tell us which films the clips come from and which films each piece of music comes from. And for all that effort, you deserve a fabulous prize. And that's just what we've got. The first correct answer, drawn from the film can on December the 1st, will win an all-expenses-paid 10-day holiday for a family of 4. You and your family could be whisked away by Continental Airlines straight to the heart of the movies. You'll spend 5 days at the luxurious Anaheim Marriott Hotel, and from there you'll be able to catch all the fabulous cinematic sights of Southern California, like Universal Studios, where you can see behind the scenes just how movies are made. You'll have the freedom of a car from Hertz Car Rental. They'll help guide you to San Diego, and the Princess Hotel, where you'll spend your final 5 nights. Once there, you'll be able to enjoy the wildlife. That's at the world-famous zoo, not the city itself. And of course, there's the 1,800 acres of Wild Animal Park, an immense wildlife sanctuary. All in all, it really is the holiday of a lifetime. "25 runners-up will get the chance to win 5 Warner Home Video movies of their choice, and 100 runners-up will receive a pair of tickets for any Canon cinema in the country. So let's get on with it. Here are those 5 clips. Well, that'll certainly get the old brain going. Just put your answers now on a postcard and send them to Preview Competition. Warner Home Video, 135 Wardour Street, London W1V 4AP. And remember, get your answers to us no later than the 25th of November. Well, we've certainly seen a range of entertainment, and it's entertainment that'll last. You know, I sometimes wonder what actually makes a great film. I remember all my favorites, and they're all very different. One Hollywood writer observed that when it comes to making a hit movie, quote, nobody knows anything, unquote. And it's better that way, because you'll always be surprised. The legendary movie mogul Sam Goldwyn once said, I want to make a movie that starts with an earthquake and works up to a climax. Well, perhaps Warner's are working on it right now, Sam. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you soon with another selection of the latest releases on video. And remember, for quality entertainment, you know where to go. Goodbye.